Good day and welcome to Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and today we bring you one of the most talked about moments in tennis right now. Coco Gauff has exposed something big, and the tennis world has not stopped reacting since. What began as an honest moment from one of the sport's brightest stars has quickly turned into a global conversation, sparking debate among fans, analysts, former players, and fellow athletes. Coco Gauff, known not only for her explosive athleticism but also for her maturity and intelligence beyond her years, has once again proven that her influence extends far beyond the baseline. Coco Gauff's rise to superstardom has never followed a quiet path. From her teenage breakthrough on the world stage, she has lived under a spotlight that few athletes her age could even imagine. Every word she speaks, every match she plays, and every emotion she shows is magnified across social media and news platforms worldwide. So when Gauff recently shared a deeply revealing perspective, something that pulled back the curtain on life at the elite level of tennis, it immediately captured attention. This was not a scripted statement, or a polished press release. This was raw honesty, the kind that resonates because it feels real. The tennis world has long viewed Coco Gauff as a symbol of the future. She represents youth, diversity, resilience, and evolution within the sport. That is why her revelation hit so hard. Fans weren't just reacting to what she said, they were reacting to what it represented. Gauff spoke openly about the unseen pressures, the emotional toll of expectations, and the personal realities that come with being labeled a future legend before adulthood fully arrives. For many, it was a reminder that behind the trophies and endorsements stands a human being carrying invisible weight. What Gauff exposed challenged one of the oldest myths in professional sports, that success automatically brings happiness. She acknowledged that even at the highest level, even after Grand Slam triumphs and career-defining victories, doubts, stress, and emotional fatigue still exist. This admission struck a chord across the tennis community. Some praised her courage, calling her voice necessary and refreshing. Others were stunned by how much responsibility young stars are made to shoulder in silence. Either way, her message could not be ignored. Social media exploded within hours. Fans flooded platforms with messages of support, admiration, and reflection. Many young athletes shared that Gauff's words mirrored feelings they themselves have struggled to articulate. Veteran fans admitted they had never fully considered the emotional cost of early fame. Former players weighed in as well, noting that the pressure Gauff described is something tennis has historically failed to address openly. In one statement, a retired champion remarked that if conversations like this had existed decades ago, many careers might have unfolded differently. This moment also reopened discussions about how tennis markets its stars. Coco Gauff has been a headline since her mid-teens, often portrayed as a once-in-a-generation talent and a symbol of American tennis revival. While those labels bring opportunity, they also bring relentless expectation. Gauff's revelation forced the sport to look inward and ask uncomfortable questions. How much is too much? When does hype become harm? And how can institutions better protect young athletes as they grow into their potential? Importantly, Gauff did not express regret for her journey. She spoke with clarity, not bitterness. She emphasized gratitude for her career, her team, and the chances she has been given. But gratitude, she explained, does not cancel out pressure. Instead, it often amplifies it. The desire to live up to expectations for fans, sponsors, country, and family can quietly build into an emotional burden that only those inside the arena truly understand. Her words also fueled debate about mental health in elite sports. Tennis, a uniquely individual competition, offers little refuge once a player steps onto the court. There is no substitution, no timeout from expectation, no shield from scrutiny after a tough loss. Gauff's openness highlighted how strength is no longer defined by silence, but by self-awareness and honesty. Many analysts believe this moment could mark a cultural shift, especially among younger players who now see vulnerability not as weakness, but as leadership. The reactions from fellow players have been equally powerful. Several WTA stars publicly supported Gauff, applauding her bravery and acknowledging they had faced similar feelings at different stages in their careers. Some hinted that Gauff said what many think but rarely say. Others suggested that this honesty might ultimately free Gauff to perform with even greater confidence, no longer confined by the illusion that champions are immune to emotional struggle. From a performance standpoint, fans are also asking what this moment means for Coco Gauff moving forward. Will speaking openly relieve pressure? Will it allow her to play more freely, laugh more often, and compete with renewed joy? Many believe the answer is yes. History shows that athletes who embrace self-awareness often unlock new levels of consistency and fulfillment. Gauff herself hinted that releasing these thoughts was part of her personal growth, not a reaction to setback, but a step toward balance. The broader tennis landscape has taken notice. Commentators are framing this as a defining moment not just for Gauff, but for her generation. A generation that is redefining success, demanding healthier systems, and refusing to equate silence with strength. In that sense, what Coco Gauff exposed goes beyond tennis. It speaks to modern sports culture as a whole. Despite the intense discussion, one thing is clear: Coco Gauff remains focused on her craft. Her training, her competitive fire, and her commitment to excellence have not wavered. If anything, fans now feel more connected to her journey. They don't just see a champion, they see a person navigating extraordinary circumstances with honesty and grace. That connection may ultimately strengthen her legacy far more than any statistic ever could. There is also a generational impact to consider. Young players watching from junior circuits around the world are absorbing this message. They are learning that it is okay to acknowledge pressure, okay to seek balance, and okay to define success on their own terms. Gauff's influence, already immense on the court, has now expanded into a role model space that transcends rankings and titles. As the tennis world continues to react, one thing remains undeniable: Coco Gauff has shifted the conversation. She has reminded fans, media, and institutions alike that greatness does not mean invincibility. It means courage, courage to compete, courage to grow, and courage to speak when silence would be easier. This moment will likely be remembered as one of the most impactful off-court narratives of her career so far. Looking ahead, the spotlight will remain bright. Gauff will continue to be challenged by rivals, expectations, and the demands of elite competition. But now, she does so with a voice fully her own and a community that understands her more deeply than before. That understanding may be her greatest advantage of all. As stories continue to emerge and reactions evolve, one lesson stands above the rest: when athletes tell the truth, the world listens. Coco Gauff exposed something big. Not to shock, but to share. And in doing so, she has once again proven why she is not just one of tennis's best players, but one of its most important voices. Thank you for joining us here on Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and we'll continue to bring you the stories that shape sports beyond the scoreboard. Stay informed, stay inspired, and stay with us for more breaking updates.